My name is Gary McMillan. I'm the General Manager at the Belforest Water System.
I am Marinda Turner. I am the Business Manager for Belforest Water System. Belforest Water is a smaller system that only provides water. Our customer base is growing rapidly, but we still have a lot of customers that come in and sit down and talk to us, ask questions, bring donuts, bring in their spare oranges from their trees if they have extra oranges, and things like that. So we do enjoy our customers, even though things are growing rapidly here. And just a few years ago we had 3,000 customers, and now we have over 6,200.
Our biggest challenge is actually the growth that we're experiencing. Over the last 10 years, we've had about 7 to 8% per year growth. So our system has doubled over the last 10 years, and that's scheduled to continue for the foreseeable future.
I worked at Daphne Utilities before I worked here, and we had an issue getting our regular meters. We were using a different meter brand over there, and we had an issue getting those meters. The supply chain problems, were pretty ongoing at that time. So one day, one of the salesmen came in. He says, "Hey, I have this type of meter." And that's when I first got exposed to Kamstrup. We ordered some of them just to have as backup. I did not look at it in great detail or anything. It was something that we had to have, and it would work with that. So my first impression was, oh my goodness, this is a plastic meter. We're not using this unless I absolutely have to. So then when I came over here to Belforest, and our Ferguson rep was by here, and he brought the Kamstrup meter, he dropped it. And it sounded just like a regular meter. I was like, oh, that's not plastic. So I'll never forget that. I said, you need to do that everywhere you go.
Well, when we first started looking at other metering systems, we checked around with some of the neighboring communities, and actually Kamstrup didn't come up at first. One of our operators had gone to a class, and she had said, you ought to check out Kamstrup. Dauphin Island has those. And I happen to know the guy that managed Dauphin Island, so I gave him a call, and he spoke very highly of you. Well, we needed a more reliable system, and we were having failure rates of the old system that we just couldn't get our hands around, and we were looking mainly for a new reliable system that would seem like a complete change out was the only real answer. Well, there were really two reasons. One was the reliability that my friend talked about, and also, Kamstrup seemed to back that up with what they were saying, and also the availability. One of the systems we were looking at, their delivery time was so far out that we felt like we could get the Kamstrup purchased and installed before they could deliver. I don't think we could ask for better. It is proven to be very reliable. We're getting 99+% read rates, and we can usually identify why the other ones aren't reading. I don't know if you could compare them really. We're getting regular results, 99% plus versus a lot of times less than 90%. And we can believe these results too, because some of those, when you had a separate register going on a meter, they had to be programmed for that meter, and sometimes that wasn't done right. So there were a number of issues that we have changed by or solved by going to Kamstrup.
Before, we were doubting our data that we got from the other system. We could not provide good customer service. We couldn't provide our customers with answers because we didn't have reliable data. It wasn't consistent. And then a lot of times when we got the data, we looked at it and said, there's no way. So it really establishes more trust between us and our customers, because we have confidence in the data, and therefore the customers will. I think the ALD is a very neat tool, and it has proven to be useful for us. Whenever I first told some of our operations people, like, hey, I got a work order for you, I have 2 work orders for you. I said, our new system measures the noise level at the meter, and I said, these 2 meters have an extremely high noise level, so that means, and I said that the leak is not, the water's not going through their meter, so it means that there's a leak somewhere near that meter. So they were like, yeah, right, So they went out there. Well, I actually had 3 work orders that said that. They went out there and they found 2 leaks. They could not find one at the 3rd location. But they did find 2, and ever since then they don't doubt me. We're looking forward to having accurate data so that we can maybe make better projections, and we do also, we do have an expectation that our revenue will increase because so many of our meters before were not reading and they were not as accurate as the Kamstrup meters. We do notice now that there can be as much as a half a gallon of water going through the Kamstrup meter on an hourly basis, and it will be reading it. And whereas before with the other meters, if there was a low flow of water going through there, it would never register it. So that's one reason we think we'll have more revenue coming in. Before, we would have a household with 2 people in it, and they were showing 0 usage, yet their meter was working. But it's just because it never picked up that low flow, and these people never turned their faucets on wide open or never had 2 on at one time. But Kamstrup will pick up that very, very low flow. And so we are billing for all the water that's going through that meter, not just some of it. They should just take that meter and drop it. And then they'll know, oh, this is a good meter.